I'm going to just add a bit of a personal anecdote. For me, a very big game changer was when I started to focus on my physical flexibility. I started practicing simple yoga, not elaborate, higher advanced, just simple stuff to open up my joints, to open up my hips. Every yoga session left me feeling a lot calmer. And you can explain the biology after I'm done explaining what I'm saying. But very often, sometimes on my worst days, if I was doing a bit of a stretching session myself alone in my own isolation, especially when I was stretching my hips, I would end up tearing up a little bit because I would go back to a certain thought and then I felt like something would get triggered. I was releasing some emotion as I was releasing my own hips. And I've asked a lot of yoga coaches about this. They say, yeah, your hips store a lot of emotion, etc., etc. The further I went in this journey of improving my body's flexibility, the more I think that my mind is adaptable when it comes to the waves that life throws at me. This is just my own experience. This was one very big game changer.
I agree with all of it, but the hip storing emotion thing is so interesting because it is true that when you stretch and when you open up your joints, certain things happen to you. Certain things happen to your body, you feel calmer, you feel more relaxed. And in that state of relaxation, you might uncover certain things about yourself. Emotions are stored within the nervous system.
What does that mean?
So emotions, the memory of those emotions, those neural networks, like we spoke about, right? Neuroplasticity. So the neural networks that deal with the memory of whatever it is that is making you emotional is stored in your nervous system. It is stored in the hippocampus of your brain and it is stored in the limbic system. But because the action of opening up your hips brought that out, we would say that hips are storing the emotion. So while it might seem ki acha kya farak padta hai, it's almost the same thing, we have to still call it out because ultimately we are chasing truth, or at least we are chasing as close to the truth as possible. It is like saying, I fell in love, but she broke up with me and now I'm heartbroken. Right? But then that's why a lot of love songs wrote about the heart, although everything is coming from the brain. And it's great for poetry, but अगर हम neuroscience की बात कर रहे हैं तो heart और love का connection नहीं है, brain का है. But nobody talks about I love you with all my brain. You're feeling, how are you feeling now? Are you feeling calm, relaxed? Yeah. Right now your heart rate is probably 60 or 65 something. You're breathing relaxed, aaram se. All your muscles are calm, relaxed. Now suddenly if I take a gun out and I say I'm going to shoot you, a few things will happen. Your body will go from a calm, relaxed state to a fight and flight state. You will go into a state of threat. So this is called as going from parasympathetic to sympathetic, right? When you go into a state of threat, you are basically getting ready to fight. So when you're getting ready to fight, all the muscles in your body will contract. Your body will become rigid, more firm. Because you want to fight. You don't know where the punches will come from. So you might have to kick or hit at any moment. Your heart will start beating faster because now all your muscles will need more blood. Your lungs will start breathing faster, right? This combination of things will make you feel like something is happening in the chest because your heart is beating faster, you're breathing faster, your muscles have gotten tight, your chest muscles have gotten tight. So this will lead to you feeling something here. You can start getting neck pain and back pain simply because of anxiety. And that is the sympathetic response that your body goes through whenever you are feeling threatened. Thankfully, this only lasts for a short amount of time, usually. Unless you are in a chronic state of threat. So if you are constantly being told that you're under attack, this feeling becomes the norm. So you go into a chronic sympathetic state. And that is what we call as chronic stress, which is the root cause of most psychosocial problems that are happening in the world today.
Like?
So for example, if your muscles are tight, like I said, sympathetic activity, muscles tightening up. Your back muscles will become tight. So there are so many people who will come to my clinic because of neck pain, back pain. There's nothing wrong in their bones, but they are just stressed out. And when I deal with their stress, this disappears because it's a muscle problem. It's a chronic hypersympathetic state problem.
So how stretching is also linked to this.
Exactly. So when you stretch, you are relaxing the muscles. You're forcing your body to go from sympathetic to parasympathetic, because stretching means you're telling your body you don't have to be contracted. You are not going to war. You are safe. Relax. So your body says, okay, let me go back into parasympathetic. And so if you have been in sympathetic for a long time, suddenly going into parasympathetic almost feels like how an army veteran will feel coming home. They've been so on edge for so long that when they suddenly relax, they might cry. They might get a lot of emotions. They might realize that how long have they been fighting, how tired they are.
What is physically inside the hips that makes you release your emotions? Is it some kind of a nerve cluster that is linked to some part of your brain which is linked to your emotions?
Yes, that's pretty much it exactly.
This is biologically proven.
So I'll tell you what. So it's not just the hips. Any joint is held together by muscles, ligaments, capsules, and all of these things are innervated. That is, the nerves are going into all these muscles and joints. Why are your hips not opening up? So very few people can do a complete split, right? Like a 180-degree split. Very few people can do it because kids can do it. When you're born, you take a baby and you put his or her legs like this and they'll go easily. So it's not like your body is not able to. But over a period of time, over several years, because you haven't stretched enough, the muscles and the capsule, the ligaments around your joints become harder and they get firmer. So as you keep stretching, your muscles are relaxing. And like we said, the more the muscles relax, the more the feedback loop sends up signals to push you into parasympathetic. So when you are able to open up your hips to that extent, the flexibility and the muscle relaxations that need to accompany this will set that feedback loop to put you in that state of parasympathetic. And that can lead to emotional reactions. And you spoke about nerve clusters. There is a lumbosacral plexus. So let me talk about plexus for a bit. There are nerves that leave your brain and come down your spinal cord. And then they exit the spinal cord at different parts of your body. So at the lower end of your spinal cord, the nerves that come out will join together as a net, which is called as a plexus. So there's one plexus near your lower abdomen and around the groin area. And there's one plexus around your shoulder, which is called as the brachial plexus. And then there are a couple of plexuses inside the body, near the heart and inside your stomach. So that plexus is what contains all the information that goes to the hip. So yes, those signals go through that plexus and then up to your brain. That part is true.
Wow. Okay. Effectively, each body part of yours is connected to a different part of your brain.
Yes.
Fair to say?
Yes, it's all part of one system.